Good morning, children. Welcome to the session. As usual, today we are going to discuss English subject, a 10th standard English subject, first language, lesson 4. Louis Pasteur, Conqueror of Disease. So written by E.H. Carter. So here, in this lesson, the fourth lesson, that is Louis Pasteur, Conqueror of Disease. So this lesson was kept you for 10th standard, and it was taken by the writings of E.H. Carter. It is one of the scientists from the pioneers of the modern world. Pioneers of the modern world. Children, you know that this lesson purely based on the scientist Louis Pasteur. You might have heard the name and also studied some of the important discoveries of Louis Pasteur in your previous classes, especially in science subject. For example, pasteurization, isn't it? So, Louis Pasteur is considered as a great biologist, a scientist who worked more on curing the diseases. So, regarding this contribution, the contribution of Louis Pasteur towards the society, towards the world, in the field of science and discoveries, we are going to discuss and learn in this lesson, children. So, this lesson, Louis Pasteur speaks about the selfless contributions of Louis Pasteur to the world of medicine. It is clearly, no doubt, it is clear that here in this lesson we are going to discuss the selfless contributions. We know that scientists work for the society, for the benefit of human society, world of medicine, isn't it? So, Louis Pasteur is one of the scientists here the title referred as the conqueror of diseases. Disease, he used to conquer means win. He used to win the diseases by means of discovering the vaccines, discovering the medicines, preventing the infections by so many inventions and discoveries. So here the author E.H. Carter calls him a fighter. Conqueror means fighter, a winner, because he fought diseases. He fought against dreadful diseases, so many of infections, so many of pathogens, which is going to spoiling the things, destroying the things. So we come to know especially of bacteria, vegetable organisms, and so many. So that we are all going to discuss in this lesson, children. So before going to discuss, let's have a look on pre-reading activity. So discuss the following question. Question was given. Who in your opinion is the greatest scientist? Who in your opinion is the greatest scientist? Also say why. So we know that we studied in a science subject, that is science subject we studied on the basis of facts, on the basis of discoveries, inventions of scientists. So we can say that the greatest scientist is the one who is going to sacrifice his life, whole life in the field of science, in fighting against those dreadful diseases and preventing the human society from the dangerous diseases. So the scientist scientist, greatest scientist will be the one who sacrifices himself to the field of medicine. So many are there, I think. So let's have a look on these paragraphs of this lesson. Okay, children. So first paragraph of this lesson. Listen carefully. Open the textbook. Okay, children. On the field of battle, in one of his campaigns, Napoleon decorated for bravery a certain tanner named Pasteur. So Napoleon decorated for bravery a certain tanner named Pasteur. Similarly to that of Napoleon, a great warrior in warfare, in battle. So like that, one of the scientists here mentioned as a warrior, a conqueror of disease is Pasteur. This brave soldier had an equally brave son, that is Louis Pasteur. This brave soldier had an equally brave son, Louis Pasteur, born 7 years after Waterloo. Waterloo, that is the war. After the war, he has born. He was not a soldier, but he was a fighter. Why here Louis Pasteur is considered as a fighter, not a soldier? So it is the most meaningful that it is mentioned as a fighter. He fought against those dreadful infections and diseases, and he has succeeded in finding the medicine of those diseases. So many experiments he made in his lifetime. He never wasted time. That's why here it is mentioned as a fighter more than a soldier. Okay, children. So he fought disease. Second paragraph. He fought disease. So why it is called a fighter? To whom with he fight. So he fought against diseases. He devoted his life to the study of what we sometimes call germs. Germs means bacteria. Germs means bacteria, which men of science call bacteria. Germs means here, you know that germs means bacteria. So he studied regarding these germs, bacteria, and devoted his life. See, children, that is the what you call dedication to the field of science that he showed. A Greek word meaning little rods for bacteria. The Greek meaning for bacteria is little rods. So the Greek word meaning for bacteria is little rods. Bacteria are vegetable organisms. Moving on to those bacteria, he said bacteria are vegetable organisms, little red-shaped plants which exist in the air, water and soil, and in the bodies of animals and plants. Some, but not all, are the causes of diseases. Some convert matter into food for plants. See, in those days, by studying on these germs, bacteria, Louis Pasteur discovered and also showed to the society that bacteria are also organisms, that vegetable organisms just like a red shaped plants. And also he said these bacteria germs are also surviving in our surroundings, that in air, water, soil, and even in the body of animals and plants. So first he said bacteria are the living organism, that vegetable organism. Secondly, these organisms are called red shaped plants and living in air, water, soil, and also in the bodies of plants and animals. After that, he also showed and discovered that these bacteria all are not causing dangerous, all are not going to cause diseases. And he said some of the bacteria are also helpful. They are going to convert the food, convert the matter into food for plants. That means what most of the people think at that time, bacteria are very dangerous and disease causing organisms, where Louis Pasteur is the only person also showed experimentally prevented the infection, that he said bacteria are vegetable organisms just like the plants, and also they are going to benefit us, not only causing diseases, they are going to benefit us. So the first paragraph and the second paragraph gives us the kind of thinking, the contribution that Louis Pasteur gave to the field of society, field of medicine, and also to the society. Children, moving on to the third paragraph, Louis Pasteur had a very busy and interesting life. He not only made some exciting discoveries about germs, but he was able to use these discoveries in very practical ways. See, he was just a simple man with simple practical ways, activities. He worked hard in his laboratory with test tubes and all kinds of experiments. Did as much as possible experiments in his laboratory. But nearly all the time he was working to help people who were suffering in some special way from disease. So he never think of himself, he never think of his own benefits. He always worked for people, worked for the society, worked for the nation, world, helping the people who are suffering in some or the other way from the diseases. Among the people whom Pasteur was able to help were brewers, breeders of silkworms, and cow keepers, all of whom were trained to carry on important industries in France. So in France, so basically it belonged to France. So Louis Pasteur, discoveries benefited to these people, brewers, breeders of silkworms, cow keepers, and also all who are carrying important industries in France. Pasteur was always very proud of being able to help his country in this way. He was proud to be helping those country people. So that is mentioned here. So you have a question, children. Read carefully. Okay. And how Louis Pasteur was different when compared to the other scientists, because of his thinking, because of his practical activities, and because of his service to the society. So moving on to the next paragraph. Fourth paragraph. Louis Pasteur, born in a little French county town, was interested in chemistry when he was very young. After studying hard in Paris and showing great promise, he began to teach and lecture as professor of chemistry. He became a Louis Pasteur became a lecturer for a professor of chemistry. Professor of chemistry. A great scientist. He became a professor at Strasbourg in Alsace. And also he married a wife who was always to be his closest companion and assistant. So he married the colleague, you can say, that is his closest companion and also assistant for all his discoveries. That means both the couple, including a wife and Louis Pasteur, sacrificed their life, contributed to the world by their discoveries and inventions. Next, fifth paragraph, children. So, fifth paragraph, Pasteur was deeply interested in all the new experiments that were being made in chemistry and decided to solve some of the difficult problems that were worrying chemists and other scientists. So he was always thinking in different way. He was deeply interested in new experiments, and that the present difficulties and problems what the chemists and also scientists are facing. See the mentality, the attitude of the Louis Pasteur. Sometimes he used to sit for hours, quiet, silent, and motionless. The unique characteristic of Louis Pasteur, how he used to spend time in research. He used to sit hours together, alone, and quiet, silent, motionless, thinking hard about one of his difficulties. He found this the easiest way to solve the problem. Children, listen. To find out a solution for a problem, we should have to think deeply, sitting quietly, motionlessly, concentrating on the things, the reasons for the difficulties. That is the easiest way that he found himself, this Pasteur. And when he thought of a solution, his kind, tired looking face would brighten with pleasure and excitement. See, after deep thinking, if he got a thought of solution for the problem, his kind and tired looking face will become bright and pleasure and excitement. It's natural. Whenever you are going to get a solution for a problem in our life, we should be we are going to be very proud of ourselves, because at last we got solutions. Like that, he was with very pleasure and excitement, and he would rush around to tell his discoveries to his wife. First he used to say all those thinkings, thoughts, solutions when he found to the wife and to others who were helping him. So he used to share the solutions, opinions with the wife and the colleagues and the workers who are helping him. So this is a kind attitude of Louis Pasteur towards his discoveries and thinkings. In the next period, children will discuss the next paragraph. I hope you are understanding the lines regarding this Louis Pasteur conqueror of a disease. So next period we will continue, children. Take care. Thank you.